Hello everyone, this is Monalisha Padi. I am a legal intern at Lexis and Company. I am a third year student of Bharati Vidyapeeth New Law College, Pune, and today's topic is law on contempt. In layman terms, contempt of court can be defined as an offense of being disrespectful or disobedient towards the court of law and its officers. Contempt can be easily be of two kinds: being disrespectful and rude to the judge or an attorney, or subsequently causing any form of disturbance in the courtroom, particularly even after being warned by the judge. And the second is willfully failing or refusing to obey an order given by the court, such as failure to pay alimony or child support. The court has the power to punish for contempt. The punishment can be in the form of fines or incarceration. Jail time is usually a mere threat, however, if imposed, is mostly found to be brief. Even though our constitution does not define the expression contempt of court, as per Contempt of Courts Act 1971, contempt can be defined as an offence of showing disrespect to the dignity or authority of a court. The Act further continues to classify contempt in two broader categories, namely civil contempt and criminal contempt. The civil contempt can be defined as the willful disobedience to any judgment, direction, decree, writ, or other processes of a court, or the willful breach of an undertaking that is given to the court. While criminal contempt, on the other hand, is a publication which may result in scandalizing the court by lowering its authority, interference in the due course of any judicial proceedings, or an obstruction in the administrative of justice. However, certain things such as fair and reasonable criticism of judicial act and commentary on the administrative side of the judiciary, or innocent publication and distribution of a certain matter, do not constitute contempt of court. In India, the contempt law is mainly governed by Contempt of Court 1971, and it empowers the court to punish acts of contempt, because of which the Supreme Court and High Court, by the virtue of being courts of record, hold inherent jurisdiction to punish for contempt of court. In the case of Ashok Paper, Kamgar Union and others versus Dharam Goda and others, proviso of Section 2 Clause B of Contempt of Courts Act, which defines the term civil contempt, was thoroughly examined by the Supreme Court. The court held that the term willful under the particular section means an act or omission that is carried out intentionally and voluntarily with a specific intent to do something that the law forbids, or fail to do something which the law requires to be done. In short, with a bad purpose either to be disregard or disobey the law. Civil contempt also involves willful breach of an undertaking. In the case of Balasubramanian versus P. Janakaraju and another, it was observed by the High Court of Karnataka that the orders of the court have to be obeyed unless and until they are set aside in an appeal or a revision. The court not only elucidated the principles relating to the contempt law, but also remarked that the definition of court of civil contempt given by the Contempt of Courts Act not include disobedience, but also willful breach of an undertaking given to a court. Criminal contempt. Section 2 Clause C of Contempt of Court Act 1971 provides criminal contempt. There are only four important essentials that constitute criminal contempt, and they are: publication of any matter scandalizing or lowering the authority of the court. In the case of UP Residential Employee Cooperative Society versus New Okla Industrial Development Authority, it was held by the Supreme Court that filing a false affidavit in a court with a view and intention to mislead the court amounts to criminal contempt. Third is prejudice or interference with the due course of any judicial proceeding, and the fourth is obstruction, interference with the administration of justice in any other manner. The term administration of justice is much wider in its literal sense than the term course of judicial proceedings. Any conduct that prevents or tends to prevent a party to approach a court can amount to criminal contempt of court, such as approaching a litigating party in order to influence their judicial conscience or writing a threatening letter to a litigating party. In the case of J.R. Parashar versus Prashant Bhushan, it was held by the Supreme Court that holding or resorting to strike or holding a dharna by itself may not amount to contempt of court. However, if while doing so any proceeding officer of the court or staff, police personnel are prevented from approaching the court, then in this case it will amount to interference in the administrative or justice, and therefore it will constitute criminal contempt of court. That's all. Thank you. That's all for the topic. Please like and comment on the video.